what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds, and today's Sunday, and I'm a property investor. So you know what that means? That means that I'm going to answer all of your property investment questions. And honestly, I do this every single Sunday, and I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people become financially free through investing in property as a result of videos like these. So if you like my channel, please do me a massive favor. All I ask is that you smash the like button and also subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and let's see what questions we had last week. Also, if you've got a question around property, investment, tax, mortgages, rent-to-rent, lease option agreements, or anything property related whatsoever, comment below, and then next Sunday at 7 p.m, I'm going to answer your property investment questions. It's free to ask questions and have me answer them. I've been investing in property now for 12 years. I've made millions of pounds investing in property, and I'm going to be answering all your questions. So get commenting below right now. So last week we had a guy called Joe Summer. Hey Joe, he said, "Thank you for teaching me so far. I love your content and enthusiasm. Thank you. My question is, should you estimate the return on investment on properties you find? If so, how do you estimate the pricing of legals, stamp duty, etc.? Or should you wait until you know all pricing of legals, stamp duty, etc. to work out the ROI properly? Many thanks. Keep up the great work." So Joe, yeah, working out the return on investment is real simple. It's just a case of, well, I say it's real simple, but the yield is real simple, and everyone talks about yield, and yield is just simply a case of dividing the annual rent by the purchase price or by the value of the property. So if the property's bringing £10,000 a year in rent, and the property's a £100,000 house, the yield is 10%. You are correct though, in the return on investment is a little bit more complex. It factors in different costs, like what's the mortgage payments going to be? What's the legal costs? What's the stamp duty? So you probably should begin to get an idea of how much those things are going to be. I mean, to give you an idea, legal costs might be, it depends. It really depends. It might be £1,000 or so in legal fees to buy a house. But of course, there's many different factors involved. Stamp duty typically is 3%, but again, it depends. Depends on the house. Are you going to be moving into the house to live there? Or are you going to be doing it as an investment property? If it's an investment property, is it inhabitable? If it's inhabitable, you won't pay stamp duty. But if it's already an up and running buy-to-let, you will. So there are different factors. You really do need to get a bit of an idea. And I'd say the best way to really learn that is just to keep watching videos like this. Maybe go on the HMRC website and see what the stamp duty rules are, when you pay stamp duty, when you don't, and also it really is just experience. So I don't know if that helps, maybe it doesn't, but if you've got a follow-up question to that answer, comment it below and I'll do my best to help next time as well. Great question, thanks so much, Joe. Okay, Brian Arnold. How do you avoid the 3% on stamp duty land tax for multiple properties? I'm about to own one I live in and one to rent out. Great question, Brian. So stamp duty on multiple properties. So if you're buying lots of properties at the same time, I think it's 6 properties. It might be 4. I'll have to check that. I have managed to do this several times when I'm buying a portfolio off of a landlord. Also, if you're buying a property that's got lots of properties in one. I've bought blocks before that have got lots of different apartments, and you'll get multiple dwelling relief, which will save you on stamp duty. So if you're just buying 1 or 2 properties though, this probably isn't going to apply to you because it is, I think it's 6, but it's definitely not less than 4. So you might have to just take stamp duty on the chin. And sometimes you just have to pay tax, and that's okay. You know, I don't mind paying tax. I'll pay as little as I can, but sometimes you have to pay it, and you need to look at the bigger picture of how much you're going to be making on the deal rather than focusing on how much you're going to have to. I mean, I prefer to just worry about making money. You know, some people get so obsessed with trying to save every penny. I say, look after the pennies too closely and you'll lose the million. Hope that helps. Adam says, in my 20s, landlord, own 4 buy-to-let, 3 family lets, 1 HMO, working full-time in property. Remortgages done on each properties. Thank you for your videos. What's next? How do I grow further and take things to the next level? Capital required. Okay, so I'm not sure whether when you say capital required, that means that you've got the capital, because you mentioned that you've just refinanced. So I don't know if you've got money or if you haven't got money, but whether you have or not, my advice would be the same. I would say, firstly, congratulations, you're in your 20s and you've got a little portfolio going, which is fantastic. I would use your current experience to leverage more money. And you can, I mean, banks care about your experience, but so do investors. And if you've got a track record of being able to show that you can make money in property, you've bought HMOs, they're going successfully, what you could now do is you could find an investor, even a private investor. And you could say, look, this is what I've previously done. You know, here's the stats. Here's what I've done. How about you put the money in? I'll find the deal, and we'll do a profit share. We'll do a joint venture. So I would definitely be looking to do that. Joint ventures are the way to go. Most development deals are done via joint ventures. Most people that have become very successful in property have done it via joint ventures. So, you know, you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. So that my advice, Adam, would be to bring people in on the deals and also go bigger. Start scaling up and doing bigger deals. Because it takes just as much energy and effort on a small deal as it does a big deal. So every time you buy a new deal, go a little bit bigger, push yourself out your comfort zone. Hope that helps. Mr. SGS says, firstly, thank you and God bless for all you're doing to help people. You're so welcome. My question is, can I access the government grants or loans like uni ones to get into your academy? I don't think so. I don't think the government will give you a grant to get into my academy. I mean, listen, the system, the government, the education system, it's all created for you to go get a job. Okay. My training is very different. My training is all created for you to be able to become financially independent and for you to be able to retire young, retire rich, live life on your terms, build a property empire. So it's kind of a different game plan. So if you start going to the government asking them for loans to go on my training programs, I don't think they're going to say yes. Maybe there is funding, maybe there are loans and stuff you can get, but I'm not too sure. But be very happy to talk to you about that. So if you find any, let me know. If you find any grants. All right, Josh Warburton. Please, can you speak about what certificates and licenses you need to become a landlord just with a normal buy-to-let? So, listen, in the rules of business, everyone who cares and thinks about certificates and licenses and all that kind of stuff usually are very much in the job mentality. You don't genuinely need any certificates or any licenses, any qualifications to buy and rent out a house. Now, there are some areas where this is not the case. There are some types of properties where this is not the case. For example, if you're buying a property in Wales, which I do own properties in Wales, you do need a license to buy a property in Wales. Now, to get a license is really easy. It costs £100 and you just fill out a form. It's very, very easy to get one, but you do. If you're buying a HMO property and there's 5 or more people living in the HMO, you need a HMO license. Again, very easy to get. It's more about the property than it is about you, about the property being suitable. So you do sometimes need licenses, but generally speaking, you do not. To be an entrepreneur, to make money, normally there's not that. I mean, if you want to be a doctor, you got to go to university, you got to get this, you got to get that, and it's a big process. Or you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something like that. But to be an entrepreneur, there's very little formal education that you need. However, I do strongly believe that you need self-education. Jim Rohn says that self-education will make you a fortune, but traditional formal education will make you a living. And I couldn't agree with that more. Hope that helps, Josh. Okay, Rohit. Lol, I've asked a question on 4 of your videos and none have ever been answered. Sorry about that, Rohit. I don't know what your question is. Maybe if you'd have asked me a 5th time, I would have actually seen it come up, but I can't really help you now. So, hope to see your question one more time. Okay, Burning Desire. I have a £75,000 property which comes with headaches. Like every 4 to 6 weeks, I get a call to fix something like the pipe leak in the bathroom or kitchen. My question is, should my next one be a better house, like £150,000 worth, to attract better tenants? I feel the higher end houses will appreciate more in the future and I want to make wealth in this recession. Yes, the rental yields will be a lot less, but I think capital growth is key in recessions. Am I on the right lines? Great question. I feel your pain. I mean, honestly, it's so annoying when you have a house and every 6 weeks something breaks in it. I don't think that's so much to do with the house being a cheap house though. I think it might be more to do with, I own a lot of cheap houses, but I've refurbed them to a high standard. I've bought them really cheap in cheap areas, and then I've refurbed them, refinanced them, and they don't have any problems because they've been done up to a really high standard. Sometimes if you've got a house that's a bit old inside, or it's a very old house, and there can be houses that are particularly problem prone, and that can be the case with a 75 grand house or a 150 grand house. So I don't think going for a more expensive house is necessarily the way forward. I mean, the house that I live in, I rent this house, and geez, my landlord's always having to pay for things and fix things, like the gate breaks, and it's like £2,000 to fix the electric gate. So having a more expensive house doesn't necessarily mean no repairs and no maintenance issues. I think the answer is to have your house done to a good standard. And of course, yes, for sure. If your house is in a bad area and it's, really rough tenants and stuff, then that is potentially going to be a problem. But you don't need to buy a house really expensive to get it in a decent area. You just need to buy a house in a decent area. I mean, there's areas around London where you'll buy a house for £500,000 and it's in a very rough area with very bad tenants. And then there's areas in Leeds where you can buy a house for 150 grand and it's in a really nice area, or even cheaper. So I hope that gives you a bit of food for thought. Thanks for your question. I appreciate you as a subscriber, Burning Desire. James Life. Hi Samuel, case study. One £200,000 house in city centre near the university, or two £100,000 houses outside of the city centre near another university campus. ROI is pretty much the same, wondering if the benefit of having two properties outweighs the ease of one. So, James, I'm very surprised that the ROI is the same. But if the ROI is genuinely the same, I would probably buy one house. However, normally speaking, a 100 grand house and a 200 grand house, the rent on the 200 grand house is not going to be double. There is no direct correlation between the house price and the rent, so normally you will get a better return by leveraging your money and buying multiple houses. But if the ROI is genuinely the same, I'd probably just buy one, because less tenants is less headaches. Eki, can a housing association tenant get a buy-to-let mortgage? I don't see why not, yeah. I mean, listen, buy-to-let mortgage, this is business. This is business now. If you're buying a residential mortgage, they care about you. They care all about you. If you're buying a buy-to-let property and getting a buy-to-let mortgage, they just care about they just care about whether they're going to get the mortgage paid. They care about the house more than anything. So if you're a housing association tenant, I can't see they're going to judge you and be like, no, you can't get a mortgage because you are a housing association tenant. I don't think so. Speak to a mortgage advisor though and see what they say. All right, last one. Ben says, is it possible to succeed in property if I am shy? Yeah, 100%. I mean, also shy is a very interesting word. Now, if you're introverted, which just means that you're not massively into hanging. An introvert is someone who gets energy from being alone. They like to be alone. An extrovert is someone who gets energy from being with people. They like being with other people. Introverted people that might be a little bit quiet by nature and not love being around people all the time, can they succeed? Absolutely yes, 100%. Shy people, depends what you mean by shy. By shy, if you mean timid and scared, no, you're not going to succeed. Because shyness is almost, and again, this might be controversial, but I almost see shyness as like almost a disease. It's like, when you say, it depends what you mean by shy. If you mean introverted, not at all, no problem. No problem. If you mean timid, scared what people think, then I would say that's a sickness. And you need to stretch yourself, because listen, even if you're really extrovert and even if you're loud and stuff, like people might see me and think, oh, I'm really loud, I'm really extrovert. Do you think I felt shy before going to a networking event the first time? Do you think before I went in, I was shaking and nervous? Yes. Why? Because I'd never done it before. Do you think the first time I went into an estate agent's shop and told them I was looking for below market value deals, do you think I was shy? Yeah, I was. My mouth was drying up. I couldn't get my words out. I was mumbling because I'd never done it before. So it's very normal to feel like that, but you have to push through that. You have to say, actually, you know what? I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone, because people that don't step out of their comfort zone aren't gonna grow and aren't gonna get different results. So depends what you mean by shy. Introverted, no problem. But if you're just gonna say, I'm shy, therefore I'm not gonna do that thing, that's not you being shy. That's just you being a pussy. Like, I'm shy to go into the estate agent. I'm shy to pick up the phone and put a view. I'm shy. No. Just go do it. But if you're an introverted person, no problem whatsoever. I've helped a lot of introverts become wildly successful. So I hope that helps. Love to know your thoughts and comments. Drop it in the comment box below. Also, if you've got questions about property, put them in the comment box. I've done over 300 property deals, so I kind of know what I'm talking about when it comes to property. And I come on this channel every single day, do a YouTube video, and every week, Sunday at 7, I'll answer your questions. So comment them below, smash the like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, because if you haven't got the notification bell on, I might answer your question, and you don't even know I answered it because it didn't pop up and you didn't see the video. So turn it on, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks so much.